What's up, everybody? We're on the Schaefer's channel. It's the first ever episode. We've got a super special guest, a good friend of ours here in the Schaefer world, Dustin G. Dustin G, welcome, man. How you been?
Good man. I'm excited to
Nice.
to get this one going.
Yeah, today we're going to work on looking at how can somebody get into PadSplit the fastest and easiest. It could be their first one or it could just be their next one. Um, I'm trying to talk with you about what you would do and talking to somebody who said, hey, here's the way you could get started in this. Initially, it could be the fastest way to do it and then run some quick numbers on it. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, so
I think there's,
there's of course a few different ways to buy them, but I
mhm.
think what we're looking at today is existing ones. Is that correct?
Yeah. So check out the marketplace right on PadSplit itself, right?
Yeah. What do you want to do? Do you want me to pull it up or do you want to pull it up? I mean, screen
Yeah, we'll
share.
let you pull it up. You're the expert in this area. If you guys don't know Dustin's doing incredible with co-living, pad split. They're doing some really innovative things in the space, but we're going to look at just super basic how you could get your first one or your next one the easiest. So if you want to pull up the marketplace and share just kind of what you would do if you were looking to do it.
Boom. All right. So this is what we got going on. So this is through PadSplit. Anyone can open up a free account. Just use your name, password, and then you get access to a lot of cool resources. So I already logged in and then I just went to the resources tab right here. And we're not going to dive into all this stuff today, but as you can see, they really give you a lot of tools to help you learn more about co-living, how to make the best choice possible really for your budget or your area, all sorts of things. So at least for today's episode, we're going to look at right here what's called PadSplit Marketplace. And what's really cool about this, it's existing pad splits that they may be brand new or they've been in existence for multiple years. Now, the obvious first question is why are they selling it? We've seen three different reasons. The very first, in my opinion, is they don't do it the right way. They don't hire a property manager, and it's the fast track to tired landlord. Because when you got eight, nine people in one house, and one's complaining about Jimmy didn't clean his cereal bowl, left it in the sink, like you can get burnt out pretty quick. So that's the
Absolutely.
first tip. Hire a property manager. The second reason we see people sell these, it's actually their entire business model. Instead of just a normal fix and flip, they'll go one step above and furnish it and fill it. And they can actually sell it at a premium because now it's this cash flowing asset. And then the third is just simply a 1031. They have a lot of equity and they want to pull it out and they want to move into some bigger things, maybe like RV parks, small multifamily.
Yeah, I love that. I love how the first one, of course, and we've chatted about this in the past, is these initially could seem like a super failed pad split, but it could be, like you said, that second reason of this is their entire business model, which is an awesome business model if you're looking to do that, but you don't necessarily want to stay in it long, but you want to be able to capitalize on doing something that's cash flowing and
Yeah,
bring that
yeah,
to the market.
absolutely.
Do you
So
want
I'm
to
gonna
pick an
pull up,
area and check one out?
yeah, I'm gonna pull up some Florida ones.
Okay.
There's a couple rules of thumb, and of course, like anything, you ask one person, you'll get five different answers. So this is just my
Hmm.
opinion, what I'm gonna show. So I did Florida. Um, in my opinion, it's not worth doing it below eight beds. It's just the numbers, they don't pencil for me at least.
Okay.
And so, like North Florida, Atlanta, typically we'll see um, anyone that's looked at like bigger pockets, like in the past, there's a rule where it's called like the 1% rule or 2% rule, and it's how much revenue that asset can pull in monthly. And ideally, so 1% rule on a $400,000 house, it pulls in $4,000 a month in just revenue. When we're looking at these, we typically want to see the 2% rule.
Hmm.
So at least eight beds, and then ideally whatever the purchase price is, so like this is 230, ideally it'd be pulling in almost 5 grand, like four 4,500 along those lines.
Yep.
You could see the financial history. So like this one's pretty new and it's not pulling in those numbers.
I'm
So
not
like,
seeing your screen share anymore. It disappeared. I don't know if that went away for everyone or
yeah,
just
let me try.
myself.
Let me pull it back up.
Go and hit reshare. And just
But
to
yeah, the two.
clarify for everyone, that the 2% rule is based on that purchase price. So if you're purchasing something, you want to do 2% of that to be what your revenue projection could be.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I love
this
that
one,
rule.
it's in Jacksonville,
There
Florida.
we go.
Purchase price 230, 9 beds. However, the financial history isn't that strong. So
Hmm.
someone could dig into it more. I personally kind of just, you know, skip it. Um, Only con is when you go back to the menu, it shows all the states again. So it's like you have to bring up your entire, or you have to narrow down your list again.
Yeah.
But so to recap, at least 8 beds, and then ideally you're looking for the 2% rule. Let's see. I know Jacksonville's actually a little bit of a softer market, but we can still look for fun. The 165K looks like a recent cleanup inside. This one just went live. This one's a little odd. It looks like it's been vacant a while, actually.
Yeah.
So
Had
you'll
some
you'll see
initial.
some odd things. I'm gonna pull up Atlanta because I've definitely have seen some interesting properties in Atlanta lately on this actual site. All right, so Andrew, what are your thoughts so
26.
far while we're looking at all this?
See a 269 one. I think it's important to think through, like when you're thinking through that revenues, the reason is on a typical rental, if you're looking like a long-term rental, a 1% rule, you don't have a lot of the costs that you're going to have when it comes to a pad split. So if you're looking at the co-living model, you're going to be adding utilities, you're going to be adding Wi-Fi. There is more wear and tear on the property. And like you said, more headache of more people in a property.
Mhm.
I think we actually pulled the same one up here.
Yeah,
Those
the
numbers are looking really good.
when we've
Decent.
seen the properties, they hit that 2% rule. That
Mhm.
this is just averages. The average net cash flow is 1,500 per month, and that's a true like net, no other expenses that haven't been factored in.
Mhm.
And it could
That's great.
definitely be higher. That is very possible. Let's see. Let's look at a couple more Georgia ones. Yeah, and you'll see in the photos too, there's like a different range. There's a wide range of quality, like the insides.
For sure. So, what are some other
Yeah,
standout things for you when you're looking at an existing one, as far as besides beds? You're looking at what kind of common spaces there are, what the exterior is, parking.
yeah. So ideally, at least half of the tenant space. So like this one's 13 rooms. I mean, at
Mhm.
least 7 parking spaces before you're hitting the street. Sometimes people like extend parking into the backyard. Um, Ideally too, like in the rooms, we're actually seeing a lot of data that suggests like it's worth, paying $150 to have a desk and a chair in the room. Even a mini fridge. That way
Mhm.
people are less likely to fight maybe over fridge space or Andrew's eating everyone's food, like that kind of stuff.
And if you have tasty
Uh,
leftovers, it's hard to blame them.
Some pad thai. Let's see. So I've seen this one. Actually, I saw this one like last week. This one did meet the 2% rule, I believe. Yep. So check this one out. This one is worth
Mhm.
looking at twice. 275 purchase price. Um, One side note, typically these are gonna have the sellers when these assets have seasoned, they do want to sell above, what it's gonna appraise for, anywhere from 5 to 10%, especially if it's, 1, 2, 3 years in operation.
For sure.
They can and do sell at a premium.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like we'll throw in, I'm going to throw in a mortgage calculator, bank rate. So let's just do some back of the napkin math. One thing I've seen on these pad splits, a lot of the lenders are still using LTR, the long-term rent rates, 12-month leases, even though this thing may have been in use as the pad split for 3 years. It is outdated, but it is changing. Each month we're seeing new things. Um, so what I'm getting at is it does influence that DSCR ratio in a way that people may not expect. So even though this is pulling in like 6 grand a month on average, like on the bottom here, we get to see the
Yeah.
12-month. They're still gonna look underwrite it based on regular rent, which is
Hmm.
not,
For
of
sure.
course, 6K. It's probably like low twos.
It's not what us creative people want to see, but it's you got to be able to play by the
Mm-mm.
rules and still make it work.
Yeah. So the reason I wanted to emphasize that is DSC are people they'll tell you 25% down. If you like, ideally you can buy this creative, but let's say you aren't. I just in our underwriting, I assume like 35% down. I know that's not what a lot of people want to hear, but that's just what we do. Um, let's see, what zip code is this? Stone Mountain.
And my suggestion is if you're following along with this, make sure you pause and actually do the steps as you're watching Dustin do this. It's that repetition of doing the underwriting over and over that's going to make you good at it.
All right, so and this is just quick math. I'm gonna say property taxes are more gonna be like 250 maybe. Oops. Let's just, I believe when I looked before, this is a little higher than it actually was. But let's just even call each one 300. I think it's in reality lower, but that's our estimated PITI. Now, the revenue, just looking at this, we can call it maybe 6K, 5,500.
Yeah, that sounds like a
And
good
so
average.
these are just some rules of thumb, but that's what's going to take, if you average it out, just call it 12%. And so going from 6K to, let's just bring it all the way down to 5K, ultra
Hmm.
conservative. So now our PITI again is call it 1,800. And then PadSplit took their fee, so we're at 5K and 1,800. And then let's say you do need a property manager. You really should. That's another 500, 4,500 bucks. Still plenty of room,
Yeah.
2,700. And then we do set aside, in our underwriting, we assume 10% vacancy. So call that another, 600. So now we're at like 3,900 and 1,800. And then you should put a couple $100 away for, maintenance and repairs. And then, like you had mentioned, Andrew, utilities, so electric. Um, so this is definitely, of course, quick math, but in my opinion, this is a solid candidate for that 1,500 per month cash flow.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you're looking quick, if you're going through the marketplace and you're just saying, hey, which one should I dig deeper into, really get into the weeds on, or which one
Hmm.
should I just bypass right away? I think one of the things that I see with a lot of new people is they will dig into the weeds too quick on ones that should just be a quick trash because they don't want to throw that opportunity away. But you're going to get stuck in that like analysis paralysis. Find out what it is. That 2% rule is a great initial, hey, toss that one to the side if it doesn't meet that.
Yeah, great filter. Let's see. We have, I think, a couple minutes left. How did you want to conclude this podcast episode? Any property specific or general co-living co-living questions?
Tell us what things that you've got that are exciting you right now. What kind of things you got going on? You've got a new little one in the house, and you've got fun stuff going on family wise? What sort of business stuff are you most excited about right now?
Yeah, so we are in the middle of teaching co-living inside of Sub 2, the second class, and
Hmm.
we are prepping for our next raise. It won't be for a month, but it's going to be a bigger one where we're going to buy two properties. Ideally, what we're aiming for is another new construction co-living in Houston
Okay.
and one on Oahu that will convert. That's We're actively underwriting, looking for Oahu deals. Um, yeah, that won't be till probably mid-October.
Okay. That's awesome. Those are always the exciting ones, the destination
Mhm.
ones that you get to do
Yeah,
right after you put the work in on all the other ones. Well, tell people how they can find you. I mean, you're doing incredible things with co-living, incredible teaching staff. Where can people find you online and see what you're doing?
yeah. The easiest is Instagram, or buydealswithdustin.com. So
Nice.
that'll show all the different like free resources we have. Calculator, which we didn't show on here, it helps with the underwriting. The
Hmm.
ebook, which helps with like the checklist, what a good co-living is versus isn't. Tons of YouTube videos. So Instagram and then buydealswithdustin.com.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, guys, check that out. Dustin is doing incredible things. I love following along. Check out all his videos. We appreciate you guys and your time. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.